Good morning and welcome to the second installment of 7 of It's Your Call with Coach Paul. And I'm Paul D. Michaels, and I'm very happy that you're here today. And I'm excited. We're going to start the actual game show. As I was explaining in my video yesterday, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share some facts and figures and some physiology and some other interesting things with you in a way that was entertaining. And I sort of want you to kind of paint by numbers and kind of put things together for yourself so that you understand how you can be active while you work in your workday. And this is proven to be very effective for a lot of people. And it prevents us from being sedentary, which we learned yesterday can create a whole bunch of problems, which it has for me in my life. And this has been my journey as well. So the idea of the quiz is to have some fun, learn some interesting facts, kind of put them together and see how we can actually implement something that improves our work health and gets us fit and improves our productivity and our health and everything else. All right, so without further ado, we are going to start with the first question. And the first question is, give me a sec here. I have got a little video studio and I have to press the right buttons. All right, so the first question is, if a horse and a human ran a long race, who would win? The horse, the human, or would it be a tie? I don't know. Think about it. I mean, how can a human beat a horse in a long distance race? Horses are really good runners, right? I don't know. Think about it. Give you a couple more seconds, and we're going to go to the answer. So if this was before 2004 and you chose the horse as winning, I would say you're absolutely right. But it seems in 2004, there was a breakthrough. I think it was more of a barrier that was broken through, kind of like the 4-minute mile. I mean, before 1915, no human had run sub 4-minute mile. And then all of a sudden, from 1915 on to the present, it's pretty common. I mean, people are breaking it all the time. So it's more of a psychological issue. I'm sure general health of people was also a factor. But in our current environment, it is quite common to break the 4-minute mile. So the same thing happened in 2014 when a British man named Hugh Lobb won. He beat the horse. Now, little backstory, this was kind of like a betting scheme in the pubs of England. And what they would do is they'd set this up. Some people would bet on the horse, and some losers would bet on the human. And it was a pretty consistent moneymaker for the bettors. And so when Hugh Lobb came along and broke that record, he kind of broke this tradition and this money-making machine that they had. And they basically gave up on it after that, because once the humans started winning, it wasn't so much fun. So the question is, how is this possible? How is it possible for an incredible, strong, beautiful horse to be beaten in a long distance race by a human being? It just doesn't seem possible. Well, the answer is you and I and every other human on this planet have the most incredible bodies of any mammal on the planet. We are absolutely unique in a lot of ways, obviously, but in this way as well. And our bodies are made for going long distances. They just are. And we'll get into a little bit more of how and why in a second. But the other mammals are either predators or prey, and really their job is to run and be as agile as possible to either not get caught and eaten or to catch something and eat. So they have different sets of muscles. There's different types of tendons, all of that, and it's built for speed and agility. And they do a great job at that. But what humans do is we have a couple of advantages. First of all, our legs, our Achilles tendon, the muscles, the qualities of the muscles in our legs are not necessarily sprint, but they are for longer distances. They work better than the rapid muscles in prey and predators. And so those are some of the factors. But the biggest factor is that human beings are great sweaters. Now, I'm not talking about sweaters. I'm talking about sweaters. We are naked apes. And as a result, we have adapted by sweating. Our bodies, our skin can sweat, and that can cool us down. When the other mammals run, they can run, and they can run a fair distance, but the problem happens when their bodies start to overheat, and they can't sweat. They have to pant. And the way they pant and the way they breathe when they are running fast are two different types of breathing. So they actually have to stop and pant. And that worked very well for humans in the old days when we had to go out and run down our food and catch it and eat it, because we would easily sweat, keep up with the animal, or at least know where it is, follow it, and while it's panting, trying to cool off, knock them on the head with a rock, and there you've got dinner for, how long? Who knows? So that worked very well. So to give you some statistics, the African hunting dog typically runs about 10 kilometers, or can run about 10 kilometers a day. A horse can run about 20 kilometers a day. And human runners, and maybe some of you, I've done it once, by comparison, we can routinely run 42.2 kilometers, which is a 26-mile marathon, in just a few hours. And there are people who complete ultra marathons as well, of 100 kilometers or more. And my optician, who supplies me with these cool glasses, he often runs 100 miles in a race, in a long distance race. It's incredible. So we have this unique ability to travel long distances. It doesn't have to be fast, but because we can sweat and because the muscles and our tendons are all designed, we can go very long distances. So why am I telling you this? What does this have to do with anything? Well, if you would listen to the first video, you would know that my wellness journey started in 2012. And in 2012, I was a mess. I was overweight. I had aches and pains, back spasms, all that sort of stuff. Before 2012, as a kid, I was always active. I was never an athlete, but I was always active. But 2012, I was not. I was the antithesis to an athlete or even active. But over the last 9 years, I have started to become more active and more active. And, 2012, I was 47 years old. Now I'm 56 years old. And let's take a look. Going the wrong way here with the slides. Here is my spreadsheet of what I have run in the last 9 years. Not run, sorry, walked. What I've walked in the last 9 years. And what I found was going from basically zero of being a mess and just not having stamina or anything, it is extremely, it's just who I am. I can walk forever. I can hike long distances, no problem. It's just, I can just do whatever I want. It's amazing. And so I bring up this story about the horse versus the human because we had this ability. I had this ability. I didn't know I had it, but I have this ability to go long distances. And you'll see that over the last 9 years, I have walked over 87% of the distance around the Earth. This is doing nothing special. This is just finding spaces in my day to walk. I happen to enjoy working at a walking desk. That's something that works for me. But I also take my dog for a walk. I have sort of hacks and techniques that I use when I go grocery shopping. Anything else, any way I can shove in some more steps, I will, and it's a very natural thing for me. So my years have ranged from, I think my highest year was 3,500 or 3,400 miles. This last year with COVID was a little bit lower, and I also moved. So that kind of put a damper in it, but I think I did 2,123 or something miles. But the issue is, even an old male human who was overweight, on the cusp of being obese, severe back pains, back spasms, a whole bunch of other things going wrong, can very quickly become what we can do as humans. Our you know, the superpower that we have been endowed through evolution to travel long distances. And if I can do it, you most certainly can do it. And so I just want to show you that this is possible, and you don't have to be special. You don't have to be unique. You just have to start with the first step. And that's a lot of what I'm going to be talking about over the next 4 days of slides. And then the final day, on the 7th day of this series, I will put everything together and kind of show you how this will transform your life. So just to sum up, humans are unique. We are built for distance, whether it's running or walking. Anybody can do it, even me. So it's something that you should just put in the back of your head and go, yeah, well, I'm built for it, so maybe I can do this. All right. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time, and we'll go into the next question and see how we do with that. So have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.